Okay, class, today we are starting something very different. Not your typical story, not even a normal play. We are going to study Waiting for Godot by Samuel Beckett. Now, honestly, first time जब कोई ये प्ले पढ़ता है सबका रिएक्शन सेम होता है मैम इसमें हो क्या रहा है and that's exactly the point of this play. Now let's slowly unpack it together. First, we will talk about Samuel Beckett. So, first, let's understand the writer, Samuel Beckett. He was born in Dublin, Ireland. He was very introvert, intellectual type. Like वो स्टूडेंट जो क्लास में कम बोलते हैं बट सब ऑब्जर्व करते रहते हैं. His mother was very strict and religious. So imagine एक side discipline, दूसरी side deep thinking personality. That's a combination created a writer who kept asking life का क्या मतलब है? Why are we even here? Now let's talk about Beckett's education and influence. So Beckett studied at Trinity College Dublin, where his major were French and Italian literature. And here's something important. He was influenced by James Joyce. Now Joyce was a very complex writer, matlab full brain gym. So Beckett also got into a deep experimental writing. Then he moved to Paris और वहाँ उसको exposure मिला यानी कि modernism, existential philosophy, basically full intellectual refinement. His literary career when it was his peak phase. Now Beckett started writing in French. Why? Because of simplicity. He wanted a language to be clean, not fancy. He became a major figure in something called theatre of absurd. मतलब लाइफ लॉजिकल नहीं होती है और ड्रामा भी लॉजिकल नहीं होगा. एंड यस ही गॉट अ नोबेल प्राइज इन 1969. सो जो कंफ्यूजिंग लग रहा है वो एक्चुअली जीनियस है. Now, let's jump into the introduction and context of this play. Now, focus on the play. This play came after World War II. Imagine दुनिया में destruction, death, losses, लोगों का fate टूट जाना. And people started thinking, is life meaningful at all? And Beckett said, let me show you, instead of explaining. So this play doesn't give the answer, it gives the experience. सो अभी आप स्लाइड पे ध्यान दीजिए. अगर आपको नोट्स चाहिए तो पोस्ट करके बाद में स्क्रीनशॉट ले लीजिएगा. ओके क्लास. नाउ लेट्स सी द स्ट्रक्चर एंड समरी. लेट्स लुक एट अ सिंपल सेटअप. टू पीपल, एस्ट्रोगन और वाल्दमिर. एक रोड, एक ट्री और वेटिंग. दे वेटिंग फॉर गोडो. बट ट्विस्ट क्या है? गोडो कभी आता ही नहीं है. इन एक्ट फर्स्ट दे टॉक, फाइट, जोक, बेसिकली टाइम पास. इन एक्ट सेकेंड सेम थिंग रिपीट, ऑलमोस्ट कॉपी पेस्ट लाइफ. लाइक कल से सीरियस हो जाऊंगा एंड व्हेन द नेक्स्ट डे कम्स अराउंड सेम रूटीन. जैसे हम लोग भी करते हैं प्रोक्रेस्टिनेशन और वो कल कभी नहीं आता है. वी ऑल नो दैट. सो मेन थीम्स इन द प्ले आर absurdity of human existence. Now, first big idea, absurdity. This means life का clear meaning नहीं होता है. Things don't always make sense. The play presents life as fundamentally meaningless and irrational, where actions do not lead to a clear outcome. The characters' endless waiting without a purpose reflects the absurd condition described by Camus. For example, कभी आप 2 घंटे फ़ोन स्क्रॉल करते हो फिर सडनली सोचते हो मैं कर क्या रहा हूँ. That feeling is absurdity. Instead of progressing towards the resolution, events repeat themselves, suggesting that human life is trapped in a cycle without ultimate meaning. लाइफ ऐसे ही रोज लूप में चलती रहती है. उठो, ब्रेकफास्ट करो, फिर फ़ोन स्क्रॉल करो, फिर लंच, स्क्रॉल, डिनर और फिर अगले दिन से सेम. 80% of us are stuck in this never-ending loop. Now, let's move on to the next theme, waiting as existential condition. Waiting is not just an activity, but the central condition of existence in the play. Vladimir and Estrogan depends on Godot to give their life meaning, yet they do not question why they wait. This reflects how humans often postpone actions and responsibility, relying on external forces such as God, faith, authority to define their purpose. Again, procrastination. This is the heart of the play. They are waiting for Godot to give meaning to their life. But think honestly, हम भी तो वेट करते हैं ना। जॉब मिल जाएगी तब लाइफ स्टार्ट होगी, एग्ज़ाम ख़त्म होने के बाद इंजॉय करेंगे, परफेक्ट टाइम का वेट करते हैं। बट दैट परफेक्ट टाइम कभी नहीं आता है। That our next theme is time and repetition. Time यहाँ normal नहीं है. Same action repeat themselves, same conversations are going on and the same ending. Life becomes a loop. Time in the play is circular rather than linear, as Act Second mirrors Act First with minor differences. This repetition suggests that time does not bring progress but reinforces stagnation. अब तुम लोग भी सोच रहे होंगे कि मैम सेम बातें बोल रही हैं, बट ये प्ले है ही इस बारे में, लूप्स एंड ऑल. Now, the uncertainty of memory further destabilizes time, making it impossible to distinguish between past and present. ऐसे ही टाइम गुजरता रहता है एंड सडनली यू रियलाइज वीक्स हैव पास बट कुछ चेंज नहीं हुआ है. Next is language failure. Language fails to communicate meaningful ideas, as seen in repetitive dialogues and Lucky's chaotic speech. Words became a tool to fill silence rather than convey truth. Characters talk a lot. But क्या वो एक दूसरे को समझ पा रहे हैं? No, they are just talking to avoid silence because silence scary होता है. जब silence होता है तो तब real thoughts आते हैं. This reflects a broader modernist concern that language is inadequate to express reality, specifically after the trauma of war. Moving on to power and dependency. The relationship between Pozo and Lucky represents a system of domination where one controls and the other submits. However, this hierarchy collapses in Act Second, showing its instability. Pozo controls Lucky with rope, like a boss and employee, but at an extreme version. But in the Act Second, Pozo is blind and Lucky is mute. So what does it show? कि पावर परमानेंट नहीं होती है. आज तुम कंट्रोल में हो, क्या पता कल तुम हेल्पलेस हो सकते हो. Such as Vladimir and Estrogen also depends on each other emotionally, suggesting that human relationships are built on mutual needs rather than independency. होता है ना, हम लाइफ में कुछ लोगों पर इमोशनली डिपेंड होते हैं, जैसे कि मम्मी पापा, भाई बहन या पार्टनर. उनके इमोशन चेंज होते हैं तो हमारे इमोशंस पे भी इम्पैक्ट पड़ता है. सी what's next critical analysis of the work for waiting for next critical analysis of the work Waiting for Godot. Antiplot and innovation. Beckett breaks away from the traditional drama by removing the structured plot, climax, and resolution. The play's lack of action forces the audience to focus on the existence itself rather than events. बैकेट ने जो टिपिकल प्लॉट होता है ना ड्रामा में, जैसे आपने शेक्सपियर्स के प्ले देखे होंगे, बैकेट ने वो सब फॉलो नहीं किया. This innovation redefined modern theatre, showing that drama can explore philosophical ideas through form rather than story. That's why it became famous, क्योंकि ये थोड़ा हटके था. This play breaks all the rules. There is no story, no climax, and no ending. And that's the beauty. Because instead of telling you something, it makes you feel something. And you started thinking, am I also just waiting in life? And in the last, we will analyze the characters of the play. Let's quickly connect with the characters. There is Valdemar, who is a thinker, like our overthinker friend. Then there is Estrogen, which is physical, like chill Mariar, that type of friend. Basically, they are soulmates. Then comes Bozo, which has power, and Lucky, who is a burden walker. And then there is Goro. That is something we all wait for. It could be success, it could be happiness, it could be a perfect future or a perfect partner. And coming down, what is the thing that you wait for, like in journal? And last, you guys, you know what comes last. Ending. So finally, this play is not a story. And last, you guys, you know what comes last. Ending. So finally, this play is not about story. It's about you, your waiting, your confusion, your routine. And the biggest message? Don't keep waiting for your Godot. Because maybe he is never coming. But अब क्यों ही उम्मीद लगानी है किसी से? You all know our expectations hurt more than anything. So yeah, that's Waiting for Godot. It is a strange play. Definitely. Confusing at first, but 100% relatable. Now tell me honestly in the comments, आपका गोडो क्या है?